do that.
And Cheryl can move up here.
I think we should do that. I think we should let everybody.
The camera has a hard time picking it up over there.
That's quite all right.
Wow. Okay, is Jackie not here tonight, Cheryl?
No.
Great. Call to order the Township Board meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Bryson?
Here.
Trustee Holmes? Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. I will stall as we join in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Bremner, would you be willing to lead us? We'll give you a minute to take your coat off.
The door was locked when I first got here.
Yes, yeah, I realized that and came out and brought Trustee Fisher out to unlock it. I whistled, hoping you would hear my whistle.
Please join me in pledging allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any agenda changes? I would like to reference item 11, the decennial committee business. I won't be seeking approval tonight, but we will be doing discussion. So we'll wait until next month for approval. Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the agenda as proposed?
So moved. Second.
Motion second, discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Bryson?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 5, are there any citizens' comments this evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Madam Supervisor, the shores, I'm standing before you this evening. This year, I guess the city had its first Monarch Festival. And I'm calling to your attention an article in, let me get my glasses on so I can think. Last Friday, November 17th, Chicago Tribune, the state of Illinois, the town opened a Monarch specialty license plate for little vehicles.
That's awesome.
And I'm calling it to your attention because I know you're involved. They mentioned Township, Illinois, which is downstate Fulton County. They don't mention Zion, so you got cheated out of your moment of fame. Have I permission to go first?
Yes, please, sir. Thank you very much. That was actually an effort that was started by Melinda Bush when she was our senator. So she was the one that initiated that entire project, which ended up becoming it's a special kind of plate now where all the plates are going to be the same, and you can just do a logo for the different program that you want to support instead of all the different kinds of plates. So that was, oh, yes, for sure, thank you. So yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Mermer. Anything else? Okay. We'll move on to item number 6, approval of minutes of the regular meeting held on October 17th at 6:00 p.m. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Bryson?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 7, authorized bills for payment. Trustee Fisher.
I move to ask approval to authorize bills for payment in the total of $107,833.23.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Bryson?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 8, discussion regarding 24-25 levy. So So this is the first that everybody's seeing of it. So Sandra took a lot of time to kind of plot out. What we've been trying to do for the last number of years is to lower our beginning balance so that we are at 4.5 months surplus. And in some funds, the general assistance fund, we are getting much closer, and very concerned with that tipping point, because as we've lowered the beginning balance, but then we're gonna have to raise the levy in order to make that difference, and it's gonna look like we're, raising for more money, but it's actually just to keep it balanced out. And so, if we start with the town fund, what we were discussing this year, we went for $545,700. And we kind of just looked at, like, if we were to do a step up for bringing it back to, if you see on the very top, the beginning balance each year, the goal is $258,750 as of right now. And so if we do this step up, it looks like within 5 years we will be at that. My concern is if we do it in any other order, that we're gonna have to do a huge increase when it's time to rebalance it out. So just looking at this, I would love any input. I'm looking forward to sitting down with Colette Davis, our assessor, to do a review and see if there's another opportunity that we can take for this. But this was just a first review of that. Are there any questions on the town fund? So the next one would be the general assistance fund. And the goal is to get it down to $121,875 at being the 4.5 month mark. And this last year we were at $385. We still want to taper down a little bit to be able to make that curve. Keeping in mind, this is also including the reason that we are able to continue to lower the general assistance fund and not raise it that much is because of the CEJA grant. So a portion of the CEJA grant needed to go towards helping in the community, and so $144,000 of it has been allocated to the general assistance fund for staff salaries and emergency assistance for residents in the funds that we already have set up. And then the last two, the IMRF, we've got it, we've zeroed that out, we've got that set. The balance should be about $15,000. So if you look at last year, the actual disbursement was about $25,000, but we've got 2 more full-time employees, one in the assessor's office and one in the supervisor's office. So Sandra was guesstimating, and we can make adjustments next year based on what happens with those 2 additional employees. And then the same thing with the Social Security fund. We're feeling pretty confident that we're right in the sweet spot of where we need to be with that. So, are there any questions as to the recommendation? Any of you have any questions or concerns in the next month? We'd love your feedback, and then to sit down with Assessor Davis and do a thorough review to see if there isn't some other opportunities that we could take advantage of instead.
I have a question or comment. Being that we haven't actually received disbursement from the CEJA grant, did we run any separate analysis to see what it would look like without the grant funds?
That's okay with you? No, we have not, but I will make sure that we do that as well.
Just in case.
Yep.
Sign that document.
Right?
Until we get the cash in our hand.
Yeah.
Right? Good idea, thank you, appreciate that. Anything else about with the levy, any questions, concerns, suggestions? So, moving forward, we have the assessor's report.
Good evening. So we completed our commercial and industrial hearing, so we are done for the year. And we leaders of Zion and other supporters were present, via Zoom or in person. We had the hearing at the, county, Board of Review office and, presented our information. There was no one there to represent the city of Hope. And the application, was for, recommendation by the Board of Review was denied. Um, but I would say, that's the first part of the process. So the Department of Revenue, which is the state level, is who would make the actual decision on that. And so we wanna keep our eyes and ears open as to what the final decision is going to be. And, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who showed up. We really appreciate it. The numbers and the data and everything really had an impact, made a difference. And that is really what we do every day when we're defending the values of the properties that we, have hearings for every year. Non-exhibit status is a little different, because the Board of Review doesn't make the final decision. They just make the recommendation, yes or no, to the state for anything that's tax exempt, non-exempt. But for the properties that are here in the township, they make the decisions, yes or no, or reductions or whatever it is that the appellant is asking for. And it's in the same, pretty much in the same format, but we don't go in person. We've been, since COVID, been able to do it via Zoom. You have the opportunity, they opened it back up this year if anybody wanted to come in person, but we are not required, the assessor's office is not required to go in person. We're allowed to just do it from our office, but if the appellants want to go in person, they have the option to do that again. So here again, you guys got to have a first class experience and be in there and see how the things are run and you know what questions they may ask and like I said, a day in the life of the assessor's office. So thanks again, and we're gonna keep our eyes and ears open, and I'm sure it's gonna be more to come on that. Also, we're gonna be closed tomorrow. Thursday, Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. I want to wish you guys a very happy and belly filled holiday weekend.
One question, Assessor Davis, do we have any idea on the timeline of when it'll go before the Department of Revenue?
So that we don't know. And like usually our office doesn't get that notification. So since this was a huge, hearing and situation, our Chief County Assessment Office has taken the lead with following up on that. The state's attorney's office, I believe, is the one that gets the notification of that. And so he's gonna follow through and they're gonna put everybody on the radar of when that does happen. Also, our attorneys should get notification. Should is the key word. 'Cause I guess there's been some sometimes where that they have not been notified necessarily. It's not that often that you get a lot of tax exempts that are, or you don't want to get granted the tax, or you don't feel that their application should, let me put it that way, should be deemed for a tax exempt status. But it's becoming a lot more popular. The laws are a little loose in some ways for 501c3 status, what exactly falls into that category and that type thing for different types of properties. So with the values rising, tax bills rising, nobody likes to pay taxes even though it makes our life, it supports our, or provides the revenue for us. This is what we deal with. And so it's being looked at a lot more, cause there are a lot more other situations that are starting to come about, in some of the other townships, for hospitals, nursing homes, and, you know, some other properties. So they're looking, everybody's got their eyes and ears open and are paying attention to these types of hearings and these applications when they come through, now. So, you know, we'll, like I said, keep you guys informed, keep you in the loop. Whenever we find out anything, we definitely pass it along.
That
Because
raises one more question.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get back to us next time if you like, but, I was recently reading an article about Cook County,
Mm-hmm.
and how some of the school districts and certain portions were, allowed to now do a sort of recapture after, over some of the COVID funds that had been, sent out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder, how does that impact us here in Lake County with our school district, if at all?
So we haven't gotten any word of anything like that. We were told in our last meeting about that, and it's been made mention, before, but we haven't, you know, nobody's expressed that here. And we haven't gotten any forewarnings, like, you know, anything is coming down the pipe or anything like that. So I would say right now, we may, you know, we should be safe, but we'll let you know when we find out. If, you know, if we find out. Yeah.
And one other question,
Uh-huh.
when it does go, when they do make the decision for the state of Illinois, is there an opportunity for us to go again? Or is it closed session?
So, I know the attorneys can, we don't even, we're not necessarily even allowed to, well, we're not allowed to speak and stuff.
Right.
I don't think that they would deny it, I'm not gonna say that, but I would like to check and make absolutely sure. But I know our attorneys would you know, you wanna have your representation there. But as far as like us showing up, I think we could, but I need to confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know it was a really, we had 37 people there in support of this.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
and it was, I could hear them giggling afterwards, saying, we never had anything like that before.
Yeah, yeah.
So if there's an opportunity for us to
Asked us to
continue
leave
that.
after I mean, we were all standing around talking.
Right,
We still have more work to do.
Right?
Right.
It's like, this is not your party.
Because it's still, you know, the county is still in the hearing status, so,
Right.
I mean, stages, so, you know, they utilize their time. As soon as one is over, they're moving on to the next, and,
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on to the supervisor's report. Not too much for this month. We've got, the Red Hat Society is in full swing. I think we've got 42 members now. It's just growing in leaps and bounds. Assessor Davis, I want to talk to you about joining the Red Hat Society with me. Giving yourself a break once a month to go on the trips, right? Wouldn't that be fun? So just a thought. And then special thanks to Christ Community Church for the lead with the ELF Network. We're going to be doing the distribution on the 13th and 14th of December, and going down on the 9th for the packaging at with Santa's Helpers down at St. Mary of the Angels Church in Chicago. And it's like a well-oiled machine. So when I talked to Charlie Warren, called me today, and I was like, "You already talked to Mike. I'm good. I didn't know that was already synced." And he was like, "Yep, we're good." So.
Well, he's in touch.
Yep. So.
We'll see
If they're able to or not, but yeah, they'll pull it off. Kiwanis works miracles all the time, so that's awesome.
I have a question about the Red Hat Society.
Yeah.
So that's mainly women, or all women, right?
Yes.
So what is the male alternative for that?
So I'm glad you asked that, because when Noma Blanton and Oisha Gallagher first came to me about it, I went to then Park District Director Al Hill and said, "I'd like to start a Red Hat Society, and I'd like you to start a Blue Hat Society."
Oh, Blue Hat.
Right?
okay.
Well, it's never been done that I know of. But once a month, the guys can go fishing, they can go to Hooters, they can go to the Harley, they can go to whatever they want to do, baseball games, and he wouldn't do it. And I was just talking to my team about the idea of, so we have our own vehicle now, we can do it ourselves, but we would need a guy to drive it and be willing to plan the trips. So if you're up for that, I would love to
I might be.
have coffee and be able to do it. I was just at Carmel House, and, they said, thank you, by the way, for coming on this month. And I brought it up to them, and they were like, we would love to be a part of something like that. So, because there's all this stuff for girls. At the Township Officials Conference, there was a township that won an award because they created a man cave. And it's just like a senior center, but it's for guys, and they just hang out. It's like their own club, and they're just doing incredible things there. So, yeah.
I got a first trip planned.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be to Greece
Oh, here we go.
and Turkey.
There you go. Yours will all be international trips.
A cruise on the Aegean Sea.
There you we might have to start doing those for red and blue hatters then. But yeah, thank you for asking that. And if you'll think about it,
Yeah.
that would be fun to kick that off. And then a couple of things that are going on in the Zion Park District, Saturday, December 3rd at Shiloh House. They're doing or actually, that's not part of the Park District, that's the Historical Society. Saturday, December 3rd, from 3 until 5, Santa's gonna be coming. They're gonna be open for tours. They're kicking that off. And then Zion Park District, their Trail of Lights will be open beginning December 8th. And they're doing their tree lighting on December 15th. And then, last but not least, a couple of things. So our office will be closed, as Assessor Davis said, November 23rd and 24th for Thanksgiving, December 21st from 11:30 till 1:30 for Christmas lunch, and then December 22nd and 25th for Christmas, and the 29th and January 1st for New Year's. And then one other project I'm working on. So I'll give you the full story. I was working the front desk, and Adriana was meeting with one of the seniors, and she walked through, and I'd seen her like 3 times, and we never made eye contact, right? So the story I told myself was that she thought I was just one of those politicians, and she didn't have time for me, right? And so I just thought to myself, I was like, God, I wish I had an opportunity for her to know me. That was the end of it. So the next day, I'm loading up the Red Hatters, and this woman gets on the bus. I'm like, what are you doing here? Well, one of the other longtime Red Hatters had invited her to join the group. So I giggled at that, and then we had a moment in the bathroom where we just like got to talk. And she had 2 things going on. One, she's been wanting to start a SHIP program, which is Senior Health Insurance Program. Her whole background is insurance, and she's already gotten certified through Illinois Department of Aging, and so we've jumped through the hoops, and we're going to be starting that as soon as possible with her. And then the other thing is she's a painter, and she wants to do for free, as her passion, painting sessions with the seniors at the different senior buildings. So I was like, can you paint a monarch butterfly? And she was like, I can. I was like, if you can teach me how to do that, you can teach anybody anything. And I would love to go with you to the senior buildings and share with them why we're doing what we're doing in the community and have you help them paint. So she came over, and we spent a couple hours, and she showed me how to paint, and it was just the coolest experience. So we're hoping, because I think the window is only through December 15th for seniors with Medicare, to launch this like next week, to begin to have her just meet with seniors. It takes about an hour to go through the Medicare, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, to help people make sure that they're making the right decisions. And it's free, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So that was very fun. So yeah, that was my story for the month. And I think that's all I have for that. So, any questions, comments, concerns, anything else? So then moving on to the decennial committee business. So we got it completely done, went through it about 20 times, did the formatting, Grace did all of the messaging, and it dawned on me, even though it's never even been brought up with the different reports we've gotten from different townships, from the TOI website, to include the assessor's information, but the assessor is part of a substantial part of the township. And so, so I contacted Assessor Davis and asked her if she would be willing to spend some time just capturing their successes and their plans, and to incorporate that for next month. And so when we do approve this at the December meeting, it will incorporate both offices and hopefully set a precedent with other townships that are doing this, that, you know, to incorporate both divisions instead of just letting it be one division. So has anybody had a chance to read it? Do you have any comments, suggestions? The decennial report, we actually reformatted the last 2 pages to be areas of improvement, things that we can do. And we're intending on, at our staff retreat this year, actually strategizing, putting together a plan for how to start to address some of those items. So it doesn't end up being something that sits on a shelf that we did, one time and we blew off the results from it. So really grateful for the opportunity to have this, and appreciate Rose and Laura, who were not able to be here tonight, but they'll be here next month, hopefully, to finalize the report. Is there anything else to come before the town board? I have a couple of things just to share. One is the passing of Joni O'Rear, one of our Red Hatters. She passed away this last week, and she was one of the originals, and she will be missed deeply, and as will Mayor Glenn Ryback. That knocked me over. It's way too close to home when somebody that's our age. But really, I am really sorry for the loss that Wadsworth has, and just made me appreciate our mayor and each of you guys being here, right? Because life is short, and we take it for granted a lot, and so yeah. So rest in peace, Glenn, and appreciate just what a huge public servant he has been forever. So he did a lot of good, especially being involved in the Lake County Municipal League and his work in Wadsworth. And so as a born and raised in Wadsworth, I'm very grateful for his leadership and what he did in our community. So.
Yeah, I would just add that I actually saw him last Thursday at the SWALCO meeting, because he was the chair of the SWALCO, and got to chat with him for a few minutes, and yeah, it is it was kind of sudden to find out.
Surreal.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be missed. He was a good guy.
Very much so. Is there anything else to come before the town board? Just one other thing, just as a side note, I'm working with Anton's, who does the ordering of flats of flowers for us for the zinnias. In the past, everybody made out their checks to Anton's, and we did everything through them. We're actually working on changing that up and having everybody order through the township. Sandra is working on getting a credit card and Zelle to be able to do those orders, and making it just a tiny bit of a fundraiser to help bring funds in for the event. They give us a substantial discount for the flat.